So to begin our meditation, ensure you are seated in a comfortable position or lying down, either one is fine. And let's begin by bringing our awareness to the physical body as we scan the body from head to toe, checking for tension, tightness, any disturbance that may be present. So beginning with your head, face, neck and shoulders, scanning the arms, hands and fingers, the upper body, chest and abdomen, upper and lower back, the lower body, pelvic area, thighs, knees, calves, feet and toes. If you access tension, tightness, disturbance in any area, bring awareness in to that. Rather than pushing away, bring awareness to that. And now consciously softening the energy, consciously relaxing the energy, and where possible, releasing. And now for a few moments, let's focus our awareness, attention on our breathing. I will count us through for 3 counts. On each count, breathing in and out. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, if that is possible. Breathing in slowly, gently, and yet deeply. On the in-breath, at the top of the breath, hold for a moment, and on the out-breath, breathing out with a slight sigh, as follows. Now let's breathe together to the count of 1, breathing in and out. And relax. Breathing in and out to the count of 2. Relax. And full awareness on the breath as we breathe in and out to the count of 3. And fully relax. Now bringing your attention, awareness inward, behind the thinking mind, to the seat of the witness, the seat of consciousness, the seat of self. Notice how immediately the thoughts may come in and have some opinion about that. Notice, pay attention to how much time you spend preoccupied with controlling your world of thoughts, emotions, physical sensations. And because of that, you don't know that you're in there. Notice how most of the time in the past that may have been your normal state. How in that state you may feel lost, totally absorbed in the objects that you're thinking about, the feelings, the senses, that you forget you are the subject, the one who experiences all of that. Right now, you are sitting inside the center of consciousness, experiencing your own personal TV show. Notice how so many interesting objects distract your consciousness, that it is very easy to get drawn into them, at times overwhelming. It's all around you. How all of your senses can draw you in: sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, as well as all your feelings and thoughts. Yet notice that here you are, sitting quietly inside, looking out at all of these objects. In the same way as the sun does not leave its position in the sky to illuminate objects with its light, your consciousness does not leave its center to project awareness onto the objects of thought, form, and emotion. A simple way to recenter, and we can do it now, is to say within yourself, over and over, hello. Notice that you are aware of that thought. Hello. 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 Don't think about being aware of it. It's just another thought. Simply relax and be aware that you can hear hello being echoed in your mind. That is your seat of consciousness. Let's go to the movie example once again. When you go to a movie, you allow yourself to get drawn in. It's part of the experience of watching the movie. You use your sense of seeing and hearing. Those senses are synchronized. Imagine what it would be like if the soundtrack did not synchronize with the scene on the screen. You would then remain very aware that you were sitting in a movie theater and that something was wrong. Yet because soundtrack and scene are normally synchronized perfectly, the movie captures your awareness and you forget that you're sitting in the theater. You forget all about personal thoughts and emotions, and your consciousness is pulled into the movie. Contemplate for a moment the difference between the experience of sitting next to strangers in a movie theater versus being so absorbed in the movie that you are totally unaware of your surroundings. How you can be so engaged that you can go for 2 full hours without any awareness of yourself. the synchronization of sight and sound. It's very important if your consciousness is to become absorbed in the movie. And that is just two of your senses. What happens when you bring in taste and smell? What would it be like to experience a movie where someone is eating and you taste what they're eating, what they're tasting, you smell what they're smelling? You would totally get absorbed in that. Sensory input doubled. The number of objects drawing on your consciousness has doubled. Sound, sight, taste, and smell. Now what happens if you add touch? The reality is you don't stand a chance. If they're all synchronized, you are completely absorbed in the experience. Now for a moment, imagine that even with this overwhelming sensory experience, you still become bored with the movie. Your thoughts start to wander. You're thinking about what you'll do when you get home, something that happened in your past. Now you are so lost in thought that you're hardly aware that you're watching a movie. This can only happen because your thoughts can still occur independently of the movie. Just notice that for a moment. How your thoughts provide an alternate place for your consciousness to focus. Now with the movie experience, add even more, adding in the character's thinking and emotions. Hearing, seeing, tasting, feeling the character's emotion, and thinking the character's thoughts. Now you have the full dimension of the experience. All physical senses plus thoughts and emotions. Going to a movie theater and actually plugging in to the matrix. There would be no object of consciousness that is not synchronized with the experience. Any place your awareness falls would be part of the movie. Your thoughts have been taken over by the movie. Now notice how that is your predicament in life. Because all of the objects you are aware of are synchronized. How you get sucked in and are no longer aware of your separateness from the objects. Thoughts and emotions move in accordance with the sights and sounds. It all comes in, and your consciousness gets absorbed, totally absorbed in it. Yet when you're fully seated in witness consciousness, you are back there aware that you are the one watching all of this. The lost soul is the consciousness that has dropped into the place where one's human thoughts, emotions, and sensory perceptions of sight, sound, touch, taste are all synchronized. When consciousness gets sucked in, it no longer knows itself as itself. You perceive yourself as these things, these objects. Remember what you know. Your self-concept is just a collection of thoughts about yourself. The aspect of your being that always remains the same is the consciousness that is aware of these thoughts and objects. A center of awareness that was aware of your old sets of thoughts, emotions, and sensory input has always the ability to turn off the movie. What differentiates a conscious, centered being from a person who is not conscious is simply the focus of their awareness. Just as the light from the sun is always the same, all awareness is the same. When you are a centered being, which you are, your consciousness is always aware of being conscious. Your awareness of being is independent of the inner and outer objects you happen to be aware of. Now let's take a moment to regroup this contemplation meditation as we return to silence.